Hey guys, welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we're in the frozen north building a stave church to Ymir. This build requires the materials shown on screen now and uses no mods in the construction. As always, feel free to screenshot the blueprint, and without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, I started off with, of course, the baseplate. I started off with a core 7x7 and a 3x1 doorway on each side. I used stable fence foundations with stable ceilings on the interior of the baseplate, supported underneath by stable pillars. The stable set provides a nice textural choice for the rustic approach I'm taking, and I'll explain a bit more about that approach in the next section, as stave churches are pretty interesting structures. Next for the walls. I started off with the stable gate frames, into which I then placed stable fences. You have to use the gate frames here rather than the fence pieces themselves, as the gates count as full walls, and thus you can later place roof pieces on top of them. The idea for this build was not only to create a temple to Ymir, but to borrow heavily from medieval northwestern European culture. Stave churches are a type of medieval Christian church built in the post and lintel timber framed style, getting its name from the stave posts that bear the weight of the roof. There are many variations of stave churches, but some of the most impressive ones are found in Borgund, Notodden, and throughout Norway, and I've probably just butchered the names of both of those locations. They were originally much wider spread, but due to the effects of time, war, disrepair, and a small group of black metal musicians, most of the surviving churches are found in Norway. Fortunately, after 2001, many of the churches are now under the careful preservation of the Stave Churches programme, helping to restore, preserve and document these medieval marvels of architecture. So that's a bit of the history of stave churches. Back to the build. After the first set of walls, it's all basically really plain sailing. I recessed the floor in by a layer using Nemedian roof pieces and began to build up the roof design. I used the Borgund Stave Church as the main inspiration here and tried to follow the original design as closely as possible. Once I'd brought the roofs in, I built atop the rims of the roof with another set of walls, built that up into another set of gables and recessed the roof once more. This was a process I continued repeating until I reached the apex of the structure. As you may expect, I did run into some slight stability issues coming towards the top, issues that were fairly easily rectified using some internal pillars. This build would be much easier to construct with the no stability loss modifier, but it is more than possible to construct it without. However, before you do place those interior pillars, if you are, like me, using an Ymir altar, or probably any of the other god altars, you will need to place your altar first, as the Ymir altar especially did not like being so close to the pillars on the inside. At the apex of the roof, I finished off with a 3x1 rooftop strip, overhung by one tile at either end, and a single 1x1 spire protruding from the top, finished with a Nemedian rooftop cap. I then finally dropped back down to the ground, added stairs, and that was the construction of the stave church complete. Approaching the build, I'm very happy to have finally nailed this concept. I've attempted this a few times before, and each time it didn't really work out too well. On this occasion, however, I took my time to practice the build beforehand and smooth out any issues, and it paid off quite well. Decorating the interior was much more difficult though, trying to keep things as close as possible to the sort of worship of Ymir and to not break the atmosphere. On the altar of Ymir, a deceased warrior is being prepared for his funeral, watched over by two Ymir priestesses. As the lord of war and storms, those who perish in battle would surely be well received by Ymir, and those that attend his funeral soon will surely bask in the glory of their fallen brother. I tried to really play up the essence of what Ymir is about in this build, including a lot of guards and decorations related to combat and war, For example, I used a lot of trophies for animal heads, and I also placed a few weapons around the build on display frames. I also closed in the build on the left and right side, removing the stairs I had originally placed there to give the church a little bit more forward flow. And there we have it, an Ymir Stave Church in the frozen north of the Exiled Lands. Thanks for watching. It's not 100% accurate to the masterpiece that is the Borgund Stave Church, but I think it ended up pretty close and I'm very happy with it, especially as a place to worship the Lord of War and Storms himself, Ymir. If you enjoy my content, all the links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Host Havoc affiliate page, NordVPN discount and NordPass discount are available in the description below. However, of course, you can simply just leave a like, a comment or subscribe. Any of those are very greatly appreciated. Patrons get a bunch of nice benefits, including sneak peeks of videos, your name in every video, custom made wallpapers in 1080p and 4K resolutions, full-size build blueprints, Discord roles and more. That being said, a massive thanks to all of our esteemed coffee cultists on screen now for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.